God. So,
Muslim 100% jump.
alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, mashallah, it's good. So, they even fired that Muslim guy, right? That the Palestinian in the Knesset. What was his name? Omar Dosri.
Asking me? I mean,
No, I'm just reading the news. I was just saying, they even fired the guy. Remember the Muslim? I don't know. You heard about it? Okay, the Muslim brother, Omar Dosri in the Knesset. The Netanyahu fired Omar Dosri because apparently he was showing support for the other side. What's up with you, Normal? How you doing? You good?
Good morning, Baruch Hashem. I have breaking news.
What do you got? What do you got?
So the sheikhs of Hebron want to separate from Hamas and the Palestinian Authority and join the Abraham Accords and create their own little canton in Hebron. It's just
only the Hebron? Are they being forced into doing that?
No, not at all. They've been coming into Israel. In fact, the minister entertained them in their home. And it's just the 12 sheikhs of Hebron, which is kind of great because there's beautiful Jewish historical religious sites in Hebron. You probably know the cave of the patriarchs, as we call them, the mamas and the papas. That's just a popular term.
Mamas and the papas?
The mamas and the papas, the caves of the patriarchs and matriarchs. And there's a beautiful, you like that? There's a beautiful Jewish community there, and the sheikhs are saying they want to live in peace and join the Abraham Accords. I think Syria might join the Abraham Accords. Like, Trump is bringing, Israel, of course, and Bibi are bringing a new peace to the region. It's really beautiful.
Yeah, but my question to you, he's coming to the DC, right? He's coming to DC.
Yeah, a couple days.
But he doesn't want the PA as well, controlling Gaza. So what does he want?
Right. You know, I don't know.
He doesn't want Hamas. He doesn't want PA. Who the fuck is going to be controlling Gaza?
Well, we don't use curses very much, to be honest, Amir Baba. But we're going to have to... I don't know the answer to that. We know who doesn't work. We know that they don't like... The PA and Hamas don't get along anyway.
You think the ISIS gang will run Gaza?
You mean Abu Shaban?
Yeah, that guy is given weapons by Netanyahu. Netanyahu gave him weapons.
Yeah, but he's not in ISIS.
Yeah, he's part of the ISIS. Is he going to be running the show in Gaza?
I think, no, what it said was that allegedly, before he went to prison, he had links to them, but there's no evidence of a link.
No, it was on the same article that I posted. It was at the bottom.
Yeah, it said allegedly he had links.
Not allegedly. It said he did.
That's what it said. Allegedly, it said.
It has connection directly with ISIS. My question to you. No, I did not. I did not say it. It did not use it.
Reading the article. I read a lot of articles about it, by the way.
Let me put the article in the chat again.
Definitely. Put all the articles in, not just one. And there wasn't any evidence. These are just allegations. But anyway, let's move on. So that Abu Shabaab group, well, I don't know. They are there to they're Palestinian or Arab or whatever you want to call it.
Let's read that article. Hold on. Let me that paragraph.
Yeah, I have articles too, Amir. In any event, I don't know. I don't think those guys are big enough to control.
Okay. The Israeli government is giving weapons to a group of criminals and felons identified with Islamic State at the direction of Prime Minister Lieberman charge. This is your Knesset member.
Well, again, he didn't offer any evidence, and
but read the article.
I looked them up. Well,
but you lied. You lied about this one. No, but you lied about this one.
Who lied about this one?
You lied about this one. You said it didn't mention. It mentioned allegedly.
Amir.
It doesn't say allegedly.
Let's talk about Hebron, Amir. I'll bring you up allegedly.
No, but in this article it doesn't say allegedly.
Maybe I read a different article.
Yeah. So you see, your information is wrong.
No, my information isn't wrong. I think
Your information is wrong.
So you want me to paste it in the chat? Yasser
I put the link in the chat.
What's that?
Yeah. He's a Pharisee. He was locked up under Hamas. Hamas kept him locked up until you guys blew up the fucking prison.
I'm just gonna tell him,
until you
so
guys
put the
blew up
link in the
prison, you let him
chat.
out, and then he gave him the weapons to steal the aid. As simple as that.
He's protecting the aid.
He's not protecting. He's
Yeah,
stealing the aid and selling it in black market for triple the
I
amount
just
of money.
pasted it in the chat.
Israeli-backed anti-Hamas armed group. That's ISIS. That's ISIS.
Look at what I.
Okay. Do you support ISIS? Do you support? No. That's not. The Times of Israel report something else. I go based on Times of Israel normal. Times of Israel.
Sorry?
I do not go post. I'm not gonna go based on the Pro Valley sources. You're going based on the Pro Valley.
Take a breath.
Alarmo, you're going off of pro-terrorist sources. I'm going based off your pro-Israeli democratic sources. I'm going based off. I don't use AI. I'm using pro-Israeli sources. Times of Israel. You're being anti-Semitic. ChatGPT said it's genocide in Gaza.
Anti-Semitic.
Yeah, you're anti-Semitic. Yes, you're anti-Semitic. You're using ChatGPT. ChatGPT says it's genocide in Gaza.
I do use ChatGPT.
You don't believe in ChatGPT.
No, I use ChatGPT. Sometimes it's right, sometimes it's wrong. But let's talk about the shit.
Yeah, but it says it's anti-Semitic.
Okay. Do you like the Abraham Accord?
Do you like the Times of Israel article? It says it's ISIS.
I already told you that.
Are you okay? So now we have ladies and gentlemen, we have a normal here. He supports ISIS. He supports ISIS. And he lives in America.
Okay,
Everybody heard it.
When you're done, Amir.
Everybody heard Al Normal supporting ISIS. Netanyahu giving weapons to ISIS. Disgusting.
No, I didn't say I
ISIS is a terrorist. ISIS is a terrorist entity according to the American government, according to Zionist entity, according to a whole bunch of governments.
Gaza right now?
Yes. I just told you.
Is there any evidence?
Shut up.
Is there any
Times of Israel. Did you read the article? Did you read the Times of Israel article?
Yes, I did. Yes,
Okay.
I did.
What did it say? What did it say?
It said linked, according to Lieberman. So that's one person making an allegation.
Okay. Identified, not linked. Identified. It doesn't say linked. It says identified.
Uh-huh.
You need to
According
correct
to
your
one
statements.
fellow.
You can't. Yeah, this Lieberman is a government official.
I think
he was a government
yeah.
official.
And he made an allegation with no evidence. So now we got
No evidence.
That's how reality.
Netanyahu came. Hold on. In the same article, Netanyahu came out. He did not deny it.
Based on
Did you read the article?
Talk about
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the same article, he
Let's
did not
talk
deny
about
the claim.
Abraham
He did
Accord.
not deny giving. Hold on.
All right.
He did not deny giving weapons to ISIS.
Well, no, that's because you don't deny something that didn't happen. Why would you deny something that didn't happen?
He did. It says in there. Read it.
It says what and where?
It says in the same
So you
article.
have
It talks about
one person making an allegation without evidence.
when Lieberman made charges. I mean, when he made a statement about the,
He made an allegation.
Yes.
Now
And
we-
guess
now
what?
we look
Netanyahu.
at the
Hold on.
evidence.
Netanyahu did not deny the allegation. In fact, he came out and he said, "Yes, we support. We support all factions that are fighting against Hamas." Go read up on it. Go read this article. I think you're just an idiot.
No, you're the idiot.
Instead-
I read
instead
the article. The
Instead of
information
lying,
I have-
coming up here,
Amir,
I go based on data instead of bullshit, man. You go based on
Okay,
fucking
you're
bullshit.
not gonna let me talk.
Yeah, you're just a
The
bullshitter.
No, I'm not. The information I have is that they are part of the Palestinian Authority, by the way.
Read the article. Read the article.
I did.
No, you did not.
I did.
No, you didn't.
I did.
You came up, right? Allegedly. It doesn't say fucking allegedly. It doesn't say allegedly. What the fuck does it say allegedly?
I put it in
Oh
the
my
chat.
God.
Want me to read it out loud? Okay.
I'm not going based on your stupid AI bullshit. I'm going based on Times of Israel.
Why is it stupid AI bullshit?
Because the Times of Israel is a Jewish source. It's owned by Israeli. Okay?
Yeah. And it posted an allegation by one man.
Your ChatGPT is you're anti-Semitic because ChatGPT said it's genocide in Gaza. You don't believe it's genocide in Gaza. Why the fuck do you use ChatGPT?
It posted one man's allegation. You don't usually.
It's a fucking government official. What do you expect?
Is he a Zionist?
ChatGPT is a Zionist.
No. Is the person that's quoted in
Lieberman
the
is
article a
charged.
Zionist?
Yes, he's a
Is
Zionist.
he a Zionist? Wait, he's a Zionist, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Do you believe all Zionists or only some?
What do you mean believe? I don't believe in any Zionist, but
Do
he's a
you
Zionist.
believe the allegations of all Zionists or only some?
I believe in the allegation that came out of your Knesset member. I believe him that he's telling the
Why
truth.
do you believe it? Why? Why do you believe that? Did you see any evidence?
Yes, yes.
Well, okay,
That
what evidence?
testimony, Netanyahu not denying the allegation, that proves it. There you go. Thank you.
Okay, so you feel that if somebody doesn't deny a falsehood, that makes the falsehood true?
Nope, Netanyahu said we are giving weapons to the
Abu
opposite
Shabaab.
faction, to the
Yeah.
to the opposite of Hamas. And that they can topple
Yeah.
Hamas.
But
Anybody
it
that goes
doesn't
after
say
Hamas.
that he doesn't say that they're an ISIS.
It says in it. Read it.
No,
That's not a mistake.
no, Netanyahu doesn't say that.
Netanyahu doesn't say it because it came out and he didn't deny it.
So it's irrelevant. It's one person's charge.
Oh my God, what's up, Shape? Anybody want to come on up? I
Let's
think you
talk,
just.
let's talk about the breaking news instead of nonsense.
Wait,
No.
Normal, you said that you use that logic against Amir about if you believe one Zionist, whatever, then why don't you not believe others?
I didn't
What is that?
use it
What is
against
that?
him. I asked him a question. Do you believe all Zionists? And
Exactly.
his answer is no. So then I
Exactly.
said, well, why do you believe this one? Have you seen
first
any
of all,
Hang on. Have you seen any evidence? And the answer again is no. This tells me that he picks and chooses whatever he can to support whatever
If it's most 10
fantasy.
times of Israel, I'll believe it. If it's most 10 times of Israel.
There is
You know how a
evidence.
newspaper works? Hang on.
Yes, I know how the newspaper works.
The newspaper quoted one fellow. That's all. There's no
Hey, what's up,
evidence.
Edward? Edward is denying the fact. It said, he came up, he goes, it says, allegedly, Netanyahu gave weapons to ISIS. Literally, the fucking article says that they did give weapons to fucking ISIS.
Amir,
Islamic
I
State.
have
It
a
doesn't
question
say
for
they
you.
gave weapons to ISIS.
Yes,
It
Shane,
gave weapons to somebody allegedly linked to ISIS.
Amir,
Again, there's no
That's
evidence.
not any better.
Amir,
Yeah, it is better because
Yes,
the
please
allegations
allow,
are evidence
please
are
allow Shane to
allegations.
speak now. Thank you. Please allow him.
Hang on one second. I brought breaking news.
wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
So I brought news from Hebron.
Alarmo, hang on. Shane is speaking. What,
Okay, Norm, we'll cover that. I want to cover that too. So hold on, let Shape.
The sheikhs of Hebron want to join.
hang on,
Norm, let Shape
Alarmo.
talk. We'll cover it.
Well,
Let Shape talk.
Amir,
I want to
We're
let
gonna cover
you
that.
talk.
Let's Shape
Let's
talk.
say,
a couple questions for
Okay,
you.
I want to hear from Shape as
Do
well.
you believe in a free Palestinian autonomous state
yeah, of
drawn
course.
on the 1967 borders?
Who are you
Yes,
asking that of?
yes.
Amir.
For starters, yes.
Amir, you
Of
believe?
Amir?
Let me get this
Oh,
straight.
he's a Zionist
Amir,
then.
yes,
Amir
you're
is
a
a
Zionist. Yes, yes.
That doesn't make
Thank
me
you, Amir.
Zionist.
Welcome to.
I don't agree, Shape. I do not agree.
In other
You are
words,
most welcome.
believing in a free Palestinian state is Zionism.
No,
Uh,
not until.
not really. No.
Well, hold
I
on.
think you're wrong here, Shane.
No, I'm just. You said you believe in a free Palestinian state where they self-govern and have full autonomy,
Yeah.
drawn to the 1967 borders. You said yes,
Yes.
and El Normo said you're a
Yep.
Zionist.
That is true.
We have a new. I want everyone to know
We
this.
got a validation from our Lord.
I want everyone to know this. There's a new definition of Zionism.
No, you don't agree with that, Shape. Okay.
No, I'm okay with that.
No.
I mean, I'm a shapeshifter. I'll take any definition.
Wait, but no, you are also an engineer, and you know logic, and you know that that is not correct, because a Palestinian would have to first be created.
Look,
right?
I'm at risk
What?
for being on this. I'm at grave risk with agreeing with El Normo, but I will still do it. So
Well,
I've always said.
You're from Lebanon. You have to go.
Okay, let him agree with you, Norm. You can't even stop talking if you already agree.
No, don't talk past the sale.
He just
Don't
can't shut up. That's a problem.
I'm not selling.
You've heard the saying.
Norman Green, shut up, man.
Don't talk past the sale.
Shape will take the deal that's offered to him because he has no choice because he's from Lebanon. And that's great. We're glad.
He's coming for you.
I've always said that I do not believe in the destruction of Israel. I've always said that. I've always been okay with there being a nation called Israel. But Norm is
Well, I
now
think it's
steel manning
illegal.
my position.
It's illegal to believe in the destruction of Israel. As far as I know, in this country, I believe. I could be wrong.
I mean, that's
What
that's
about
an
dismantling
That's an
Israel?
interesting.
Yeah,
I do not believe in
dismantling.
dismantling. No, no.
Yeah.
I do not believe in
Why
dismantling.
can they not live together side by side like they
We
did
can,
before
But
1947?
Norm
We
is
do.
steel manning me now, and he's saying for you to be a true Zionist, you must also believe in a free Palestinian autonomous state.
Well, no, that's not what I said.
That's he's steel manning Zionism.
No,
guys.
you're
Pay attention.
misrepresenting. You're misrepresenting what I said. What I said that if Amir believes in a state of Israel, regardless of the boundaries,
Don't
then-
believe in state of Israel. Believe in whatever state you want to call it. Call
you
it
want to
whatever.
change your opinion?
Because it's blasphemous to call it Israel from a Muslim paradigm.
You want to change your
Israel is the name of the prophet, peace and blessing upon him. The amount of corruption that you guys are doing on that land, oh my God, it's disgusting. Disgusting.
Yes, almost as disgusting as what Hamas does, right?
Nope. It's you guys. You fucking
Killing their own
disgusting as
children.
fuck. You
I
got the
know.
largest fucking rally, the LGBTQ rally in
I
fucking
know.
Middle East. Who does that?
So what? You wait, Amir.
And then you got atheist fucking secular motherfuckers running around the show committing crimes against humanity.
Amir, do they mention rallies in the Quran? Because I haven't read the Quran. Do they mention
No.
rallies?
They have it's against the LGBT promoting. It's against promoting LGBT bullshit. It's against promoting LGBT bullshit. This is a problem with that normal.
It was a yes or a no, Amir. Is there mention of rallies in the Holy Quran? Did they teach you this?
Is there mention of stoning the gays in the Torah?
Okay.
Is there mention of stoning the gays in the Torah?
So you haven't read the Quran?
You see? You haven't read the Torah.
I asked you a question, and you answered it with a question, meaning you don't know the answer.
You haven't read the Torah.
Knows normal.
No, I'll tell you what.
Knows normal.
I tell you what.
You fucking cunt.
I tell you
Shut the
what.
fuck up.
Come down with the racist, come on.
I'll answer your question right after you answer mine. Is that fair? I asked first, and I don't think he's fair. All right, Amir Baba? You asked me. I asked you my question. Rallies. Do they mention rallies in the Quran, Amir Baba? And remember, I'm going to answer your question next. Amir Baba. Did they teach you that?
They
No,
teach
I
you
asked you.
anywhere about the religion. They teach you about it. It's against the law.
Nervous. In your Quran, do they teach about rallies, especially in Israel? In your Quran, Amir. Remember, I'm going to ask you a question.
Israel, this country called Israel is not mentioned.
Ah, okay. But then there's no law in the Quran against rallies in Israel, is there?
No. The LGBTQ, anything to promote LGBTQ, fucking getting involved in gay, this is not allowed. This goes against the scripture.
Do they mention LGBTQ in the Holy Quran, according to your Midrash?
Okay, what is LGBTQ? Can you please elaborate? Can you tell us what does L stand for? What does G stand for? Well, tell us.
Amir, I'm going to
Tell
answer
us.
your question next.
Fucking asswipe, man.
So the answer is no, right?
There's one problem. The letter Q does not exist in Arabic, so that would be a
Yeah.
problem.
So Amir, remember, I'm going to answer your question. So just to be clear, you've answered mine. There is no mention of rallies in Israel in the Holy Quran. You said no. Now go ahead, ask me your question, and I'll answer it happily about the Torah.
Yeah, so can you stone the gay according to the Torah?
That is not what it says in the Torah, sir.
So
Would you
you're not
like me
supposed to
tell-
stand the gays?
Would you like me to tell you what it does say in the Torah, Baba?
No.
I'm happy to tell you.
You don't know shit.
What does it say about that? What
Okay.
does it say?
I will tell you exactly what it says. Are you ready? It's in Leviticus, and it
Let
says...
me get ready. Hang on.
Okay, are you sitting down? You had your water?
Yeah, hang on. Give me a second. Let me drink some.
Okay, everyone cross your legs.
Let me go to the toilet. Give me a second.
Story time. Everyone cross your
We
legs.
don't talk Torah. You have to excuse yourself if you're on the toilet. We don't talk Torah on
No. If you're gonna talk, let me at least be taking a shit, doing something, meaningful.
Calm down, bro. Calm down.
Lord, how can a a shit, take a shit, Lord. That's not possible.
Okay, everyone cross your legs, crisscross apple
How
pie.
can you-
Story time with
How can you smell things with that fat ass nose of yours? Why haven't you went to the dermatologist and worked on your nose? Yeah.
A little note on logic, Lord. A shit cannot take a shit.
I'm with El Normo on that one, and no race.
A bumpy nose needs to go see the dermatologist, you motherfucker.
Amir,
Anyways,
trying
this,
to limited free speech. This
let's
What he does say is that a man should not lie with another man as he would with a woman.
But the Talmud
For
says
that is-
says that you can sleep
Hang
with a
on,
girl.
remember.
Let him
remember
hang on, bro.
Time for
Oh
you
my
to
God.
flush. Time for you to flush, Lord.
Not here to mock anybody's religion. We're having a conversation, even though he's an idiot. Normo's an idiot.
Well,
I'm down, bro. Change your name to something else. Don't change your name to Lord. That's blasphemy.
So, you will not lie with a man as you would with a woman because it is an abomination in my sight. Yeah? You're familiar with that?
Promoting the LGBTQ.
No, let's stay with the Torah. Amir.
I'm talking about, can you promote this act of gay? Can you promote this act of gay? Can you promote it? Can you promote it?
Amir, don't
Can
be
you promote this act of gay?
We can discuss that.
This guy is such an idiot.
Discuss that. But first I want to read you the straight Torah so that you understand it. Did you understand everything so far?
Norm,
You
which
shall
verse
not
were you
lie
reading?
with a male as with a woman. It is an abomination.
Which verse are you reading
That's
so I can
fine.
follow along? Which verse are you reading, just so I can follow along? I'm on Leviticus 20:13.
Well, for us it's 1822.
There's two different mentions.
Yeah, the 2013 as well. I was on the first one.
Okay, all right.
Now, how do we adjudicate that? Well, because we believe in courts of justice, it's in the Ten Commandments, Amir. Now, hopefully you abide by the Ten Commandments. I think in your madrasa...
Well, what is the punishment if somebody does, lay down with the men?
Put
like
to
a same
death.
gender?
Put to death.
Put to death. Okay.
Okay.
So is it happening inside Israel? Is it happening inside
I'm
Israel?
answering. Hang on. I don't know. I'm not going to...
It's not happening.
Hang
That's not
on.
happening.
Amir, just calmly.
Because it's a
I'm
secular
answering
state.
your question.
No, we're actually diving into it now. I'm not afraid. I'm diving into it. We're having a conversation back and
If
forth.
you're not afraid, then stop interrupting me. I'll let you know.
I'm not interrupting. I'm going back and
You are
forth.
interrupting. I'll let you know when I'm
Wow.
done. Now, we have courts of justice. That's one of the Ten Commandments, Amir Baba. So if you want to charge somebody with something and punish them, you must prove it in a court of law. You should know that if you believe in justice.
Yeah, but they don't do that inside Israel.
Hang
You
on.
can sleep with a man. You don't do that.
Wrong.
No, right.
Charge somebody with a crime, you must have a witness. Actually, it must be two witnesses. They must be warned that it was wrong, and they must be brought to the Beit Din. That is the law of the Torah.
Are they going to kill him? Are they going to kill him?
That's better than the military court in Israel.
Amir Baba.
Are they going to kill him? According to the Torah, he should be killed, right?
Okay. So according to the Torah, if this happens, that would be the punishment.
Yes, according to the Torah, but they don't practice it. They do not practice this law. They do not practice it inside Israel. They do not do that.
Amir Baba, show me the evidence that to a court charging him with sleeping with a woman or laying with them, and that the court did not exact this penalty. Please show us the evidence that they did not.
You made it claim. If the person, if the guy sleeps with the same gender, that should be put to death.
No, I didn't say same gender. I didn't say same gender. You gotta be very careful with
So
your words.
if the guy is fucking another guy,
No,
if the guy is fucking another guy, according to the Torah,
hey, wrong.
okay, but should he be stoned?
Amir, once again, if a man lies with another man, as he would with a woman, it is an abomination.
Okay, what is the punishment for it?
Just listen. First, you must have a court of justice. You left out the justice part. Maybe this is the problem with Islam.
I understand. No, we do. We have a Sharia judge.
have it. Okay. And do you require two witnesses the way we do, copying us?
We have
Okay,
to
so you copied us. That's
No,
fantastic.
what do you copy?
So this is we'll show you the first, obviously.
No,
So
that's
you
what you
are,
think.
so the, well, no, that's what it says.
We have more than two witnesses about what we
Yeah.
Jude's a willing to lie.
Oh, well, it sounds like you're the liar in this case, though. Pretty.
No, but, so aren't you supposed to show the case? Okay, okay.
Shit, and then he wants to call me.
Okay.
Normal, what is the punishment for, sleeping with the same gender according to the Torah?
A charge of homosexuality cannot be brought in an Israeli court because homosexuality is legal in Israel.
There you go, that's it, simple as that. That's what I was,
Where is the evidence that it has been brought to a court and that the justice is not?
How would it be brought to a court? How would it be brought to a court if it's legal?
Do you know what a rabbinical court is?
I understand what a rabbinical court is.
Oh, so has it been brought to a rabbinical court?
As far as I know, there aren't rabbinical courts in Israel that have any kind of jurisdiction.
There are many rabbinical courts.
That have jurisdiction over people
Absolutely.
that supersedes the states.
There are separate from the state.
I think they supersede the state. If the state does one thing and the rabbinical court says something else, who has authority over the other? The civil
On this
institutions
this has never.
have the civil institution have authority over the rabbinical courts. So
Yeah.
whenever the rabbinical courts adjudicate, will be completely.
1 minute ago, you had no idea that there
To
was
the state of Israel.
1 minute ago you
No, you didn't hear me. No, you didn't. No, you didn't let me
You
finish.
asked me if you said there were no rabbinical courts.
No, that's not what I said. I said there are no. No, I didn't say that. You interrupted me, and that's why. No, you interrupted me, and that's why. El Normo, you interrupted me. No, because you interrupted me. What my question was: are there rabbinical
Your
courts?
victim card, Benny Adam. You want me to get you a...
If you interrupt me before I finish speaking, you're not going to get the full understanding of what I said. What I'm saying is, there are no rabbinical courts in Israel whose authority supersede that of the state. So it doesn't matter. So you can't bring a claim which is legal in state law into a rabbinical court. Because rabbinical courts don't have authority over the state. The state has authority over the rabbinical courts.
Benny, who asked me a minute ago if there were rabbinical courts in Israel after stating conclusively that there were not? You did, Benny Adam. So just admit that you're ignorant.
you did.
Talking about. Just admit that you're ignorant.
The guy is just stupid, bro. If you interrupt somebody before, yeah.
I know.
If you interrupt somebody before they finish speaking, obviously you're not gonna get it. Dude,
You're
obviously.
lying now, Benny Adam. Now you have to.
My God.
Literally ask me.
This guy's retarded, man. Why do you even let this guy up on stage? Like really, a conversation with him is completely.
Bro, I turned off the hand raising, right? So that better have to bring people up, they can come up on their own. And he comes up, I'm like, well, how the fuck?
Really, like El Normo is like the worst person to speak to.
It gave me a headache, man. It gave me a headache. Well, anyways, Edward, did you want to say something? Anybody else want to chime in? This criminal terrorist is coming to the DC, and he wants Hamas out. He doesn't want the PA to control Gaza. What's the plan here? Is he going to allow the ISIS gang?
Who are you talking about?
Gaza.
Yeah. Go ahead. Can you repeat what you said?
As part of the ceasefire deal, right? He doesn't want Hamas there. He doesn't want the PA to control Gaza. Does he want the ISIS to control Gaza?
Yeah, that way he can invade again in like 10 years.
And Hamas has been asking for permanent, not fucking temporary ceasefire, and he denied it.
Yeah, he's denying it, and he's, we'll see what it is, though. I think it's going to be permanent.
They're actually gonna attack Yemen, by the way. They just put it out that they're gonna attack you.
There is some pressing news, though. I'm going to put it in the chat right now. That's pretty disturbing, in my opinion. Habibi, I don't know if you've seen this. I'll put it in the chat right now.
Look at this black stem character, right? They put the article in the chat. They allowed only, what was it, 10 or 20,000 people into Israel or something for work.
All right, it's there. If you guys read that.
This is what Al Noor was talking about. 20 sheikhs or
Yes,
15 sheikhs
yes.
or something.
I think it's 5. Is it 20? Maybe it's 20. But they want to make Hebron a nation, like a city-state. Basically divide the West Bank. I think that might be the ultimate Netanyahu plan.
So these sheikhs, they don't have a problem with occupation?
No, what they're saying is, we will normalize relations with Israel and become our own city-state, our own nation, and we will recognize Israel's right to exist, and Israel will recognize us, and we won't, participate in terrorism. They want to have economic ties with Israel. They want to set up an economic zone, and they'll be separate from the Palestinians in the West Bank. It'll be its own, kind of like a Singapore, its own city, its own rights, and it would be legitimate. Now,
do you think it would be kind of like the UAE?
no. Well, I mean, no, because
United Arab Emirates, like a collection of emirates.
well, the problem is
No, it's disunited. That's kind of the point.
What they're basically doing is
They might be number one, I think.
they're getting some
Organizing
warlords. They're getting some warlords to rule over cities in the West Bank, and basically those warlords are usually people who are business people, and they've been in a long, business relationship with Israel. And eventually, they would have to get rid of the PA, and they're gonna say, "Here's a state. See, we recognize the state. Here's a state in Hebron. Here's another state in other cities, and so."
exactly, and what's between those states? Israel. It's not like the Emirates.
So there are some people who are already coming out saying we're gonna some Palestinian powerful warlords or business people are coming out already saying, oh yeah, okay, we're gonna recognize Israel. Israel's gonna recognize us pretty much, right?
This is very simple. This is divide and conquer.
It is.
Really,
That's a pretty simple thing that colonial power always used in the past.
Yeah, that deal should be.
Well, number one, there is a hurdle here, a huge one. Hebron can't do this anyways because this is, the West Bank is Palestinian land, and it would have to be recognized by the United Nations, and that would mean that the United Nations would go against its own multiple rulings that the West Bank belongs to the Palestinians. So, making a city-state autonomous out of the West Bank, just legally would be a major hurdle.
Yeah.
On top of that, now, if the PA was smart, which they are not, they would ask to join the Abraham Accords, and they would commit to exactly what Hebron is doing right now, and putting the onus or the responsibility on Israel, saying, we are ready, and we are ready to recognize Israel. We are ready to engage in diplomatic, talks to build a Palestinian state, but they haven't done any of that, and Hebron has, unfortunately.
But if they do that though, wouldn't that legitimize the Balfour Agreement and the original fuckery?
Well, no, that's already been legitimized. It's just a matter of, you know, they're it wouldn't make any difference there. What it would do is set a precedent for Israel and public opinion, and where, okay, well, it worked well in Hebron. Let's see if we can't make it work in Ramallah,
Yeah,
and make Ramallah a city state,
Yeah,
and
by
then
the
make
way.
Jericho the same. Go
By
ahead.
the way, there was a report I read 2 days ago trying to do the same thing, something similar in Tripoli in Lebanon.
Oh, interesting.
They're trying to get Gilani to broker some deal where he gets some control over Tripoli as like a proxy city-state allied to Syria in return for some of the Golan Heights. So they're cooking something here, which is kind of potentially very sinister.
This is a very, very, very dangerous escalation against Palestinians and a Palestinian state. This is a massive threat because it has I'm not saying it will, but it does have the potential to change people's like world opinion and also the opinions of world leaders to say, oh, this is reasonable, without recognizing the fact
We
that
tried that in the past, but it never worked. And
they did, but not so overt.
Well, Hamas
Right.
is an example of it working, right? They're trying to create.
they had that thing going on in the 80s, and they had some people who were running things and tried to run things, but they were just chased out of town. It never worked.
So you did.
Edward.
And whoever steps up and says, "Hey, I want to run this city. I'm gonna be the boss of this town." Listen, they usually don't last that long if they are, if they are not substantial, if they're not, they usually are easily run out of town. No big deal. If it doesn't work, it's not gonna work.
Jakob, you were going to say something?
Yeah, I said, who do you think started this? Do you think this came?
Hebron. Hebron and Israel. I forgot what I read. The Minister of Economy, or
They weren't letter to him, but do you think it was, hey, write a letter to us, or it started from them?
I think it started from people in Hebron. Hebron, they were thinking, and these are clans, and they're thinking, okay, we can do this, and we can get our own city-state where we are in charge, and we can make lots of money, and we don't have to be.
Different, and I think it's the only city in the West Bank that's split between the control areas.
No, you'll find that the control A, B, and C is sort of like spaghetti, and
Right, but it doesn't split down. Like 80% of Hebron is under. 80% is under the PA, and 20% is under Israel.
You see what's happening here. This is a very obvious distraction, right? They want to shift the conversation to this Hebron distraction instead of what's actually in the interest of the Palestinian people, which is a free, autonomous, and somewhat, reasonable state that can stand on its own. So now let's start, throwing some noise in here, some distraction in here, because heaven forbid we allow the Palestinians a form of contiguous autonomy.
And the key word is contiguous, and that's what I think Israel's trying to stay away from. Like Dindic said, they tried this.
If I'm an idiot here sitting in Canada and I can see it, then the good, smart people of Palestine will see right through this nonsense.
Yeah, but if Israel gives it legitimacy and says, "Oh, we'll do this with Hebron,"
What are you talking about, Hebron? Are you talking about
How much legitimacy can they get with like a couple of thousand?
when they want to make the Hebron into a tribal city-state?
yes.
Okay, it's just bullshit. His own tribe came out against it, and the tribe in Hebron came out against it.
Did they?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
they even said he doesn't even live in Hebron. They don't know where he is.
Yeah.
Really?
The problem is that they don't realize that Palestinians aren't stupid. It's not a move.
They said we follow the PA, we're under the PA fully.
Well, that's a relief.
Actually, some of them said, fuck the PA, we don't recognize the PA, and sometimes I don't blame them saying, fuck the PA, they don't do anything. They have no authority over us.
Yeah, okay, it's not the PA, but with certain steps they have to pay for on the PA.
I told you, they tried this thing before with, what is it called, villages, I can't remember the name of the entity they set up, Robert al-Qura, or like a town, so they set that up in the 80s.
That was a long time ago.
So, Jindip, with these sheikhs, what do you think? What will happen to these sheikhs that came out of their way, right, without asking the rest of the Palestinians, coming out and announcing this bullshit?
What do you think is going to happen to them? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah. What will happen?
Yeah, some of them are powerful clan leaders whose main concern is always money and business. So they make a lot of money. They are connected to the Israeli, business system, and they're very close to, in terms of the border with the Israel 1948.
Do you call them Jindim in Lebanon? We use the term Zom. You call them the same thing?
Yeah, but they're not. I mean, people in Hebron are not gonna just take this lightly and just take it laying down. And I don't see. But the thing is, if there is an absence of any authority other than the PA, which the PA, has been extremely inefficient. They are marginalized. They didn't do anything. They haven't done anything. And the ultimate goal of Israel is to get rid of the PA. And they want to try, there's a balloon trial for Hebron, and maybe they're going to move on to other cities saying, here, they're like kind of warlords who start controlling cities and towns.
Yeah.
It does not work. It's not going to work. Palestinians are not going to go for, some compromised piece of shit character to come and say, hey, I'm ruling you. But who gave you the authority to rule over me?
Yeah, and Lebanon.
I know.
That's what you do. I don't know. You don't work that for me.
What you have to
In as much,
Go ahead, sorry.
in as much as the PA does not represent the Palestinians, I mean, who's Abbas? Abbas is just another doctor who's like no one. He's nobody. So,
Well, Prince said that this guy's they're in hiding now, or they're
No. Those are very well-known people. They're very well-known. They're powerful. They have a lot of money, and they control, the business aspects of the town. And some of the names are very well-known names.
or they rejected it and said that that's just.
They're like the Lebanese version of Walid Jumblat and
Not even. Walid Jumblat has a base. He has his people. It's like more like Jaja.
Samir Jajat, Walid Jumblat, Hariri. All these Zuhama, they're basically mafia bosses. That's it.
Pretty much.
Now, and the reason it worked in Lebanon is because we got caught up in our own religions. But in Palestine, it's less, inshallah, it's less divided. You guys should take it from a Lebanese who we felt for this trap until we got our act together.
Yeah, it's a pretty fucked up trap, I know.
Yeah, we had something that quasi worked. We called it the Cedar Revolution. We all agreed we need Syria the fuck out of our country. You guys need to have a Palestinian revolution. And every Palestinian village needs to lock arms with one voice and say we with one representation and not fall prey to this bullshit.
Look, we are an orphaned nation, pretty much those days. We're pretty much orphaned. And things are not going our way in any way, shape, or form. Things are pretty fucked up. I mean, totally fucked up. But this line of stuff usually, it jump started, it goes on for, a year, 2 years, then it kind of implodes. Those kinds of systems.
Inshallah, man. Inshallah.
It does, it always does. If I were Abbas, of course Abbas is Abbas, he is supposed to say, just throw the fucking key out, get the fuck out of that office you're sitting and say, I don't want to be anymore. I don't want any PA anymore. Let the occupation take its responsibility. We'd like to be occupied like militarily. We don't want the Israelis to say, hey, you have a PA that's running your affairs. They're not running our affairs in any way, shape, or form. It has been the cheapest occupation in the history of the human race. They occupy us, they pillage our lands, and they torture us on a daily basis for free, pretty much. It doesn't cost them anything. They'll just have those warlords running their bidding in terms of suppressing the Palestinians. And it will take a while for Palestinians to get up again and start resisting the Israeli occupation. But things are not going our way in general. They're not. They're just simply not.
I almost feel like you need like a young person in their 30s and 40s who's maybe an expat, like, has a deep connection to Palestine, lived there, was educated outside.
Look, we're a very tough cookie kind of people, okay? It's not easy to rule us. I know. We have learned all this stuff, by going, through going the occupation for so many years. So even if you bring, I don't know who the fuck comes in, unless they run for office and they're decent and they're not corrupt.
Unfortunately, more violence in the city. So far,
I would do it, but I'm eating my salad right now.
You're doing what?
No, I said I would do it, but I'm eating my salad right now, so
Yeah,
I'm busy.
you would last here about a day and a half. If you declare yourself a leader of anything, you will last about a day and a half.
Yeah, Edward.
I'll give you 2 days. I'll give you 2 days.
I will be such a good leader, they would love me.
Yeah, right.
I would dress like a chef, yeah, they would love me.
Edward, are you prepared to eat mshadra?
Listen, أنا الناس بيحطوش واطي لحدا. None. I don't give a shit who you are. We don't care. Just doesn't work.
Jim,
Sorry.
do you think Edward would be a good leader, Jim?
Edward, you're gonna have to do more than sing Ana Dammi Falastini.
I'll dance too.
Yeah, that does not work. It's not gonna work.
So you need a secular person that believes in secularism, right? Not the religious.
Yeah, we need to function in a democracy. We need to function just like the Israelis do. If we get there, and if we have a real, like a democracy like Israel does with parties and some sort of freedom and so on and so forth, yes, it would work. But if you just bring somebody from outside, or you just prop somebody up who's corrupt, it's not gonna work.
So what's your take on this? So he's coming to DC, right? By I think tomorrow. Now he doesn't want Hamas. He doesn't want PA to control the Gaza.
He is in America to collect. He wants to collect whatever he has done over the last couple of years. Things are changing on the ground dramatically in many ways. He wants to get what he wanted to get, basically. What are they cooking for Gaza? I'm not really sure, but whatever they're cooking, it's not gonna function. It's not gonna work. And let's not kid ourselves. They whatever forces Hamas has in Gaza has been, they've been hurt very bad. The Palestinian people in general, I don't think they will accept the idea that they live under rule of an entity like Hamas. So things are very fluid, but Netanyahu is in the U.S. to collect on the labors that on the things that he's done over the last couple of years in terms of Iran, in terms of expanding whatever he wants to expand, in terms of Saudi Arabia. That's another big prize that he is,
How did you make the conclusion that
well, they're not. They might vote them into office, but would they?
No. You made a statement. Your opinion doesn't matter.
Yeah, you might think so, but
I can bring evidence of that showing that they are the most. That after the referendum, that they are the most popular faction.
They are. I told you, if they ran for office today, they might win. But for how long? They can be in office for 4 years, but after 4 years.
For how long that could be said about any democracy.
it doesn't matter. It does not matter. One of the mistakes, one of the fatal mistakes the Palestinians or the Americans and the Israelis did is they chased him out of power in 2006. If they left him be, and if they ran the government, they could have been voted out, a few years later. But Palestinians in general are not in general the majority of Palestinians are not willing to live by the rules of Hamas unless of course unless they govern in a very effective way. And their issue is people cannot they don't care just about. We don't know.
Guys, I figured it out.
We've never experienced as Palestinians.
Hamas.
Because not all Palestinians lived by the rule of Hamas. They did not rule. They were never given a chance to govern.
I don't understand. What does Hamas governance look like?
I don't know. It's just I don't know how it looks like. Remember when they formed the government after they won the election in 2006? I thought it would be okay. They would be okay. They would be fine. And if they went through the cycle, if they didn't deliver on their agenda, unless they want, if you live by the idea of everything is religious, everything is ruled by the religious decree, things do not function. People will resent that. People in general will resent that.
Okay, Shindip, I have some presidential candidates. I asked ChatGPT to solve this for us. You ready to hear the candidates came up with President of Palestine? Yalla, here we go. Number 1, Salam Fayyad, former Prime Minister, economist, and former World Bank.
Who's recommending this, ChatGPT?
Yeah, he put a lot of people in debt, so I don't think he would.
Okay. Assad, next. Hanan Ashrawi. You know him?
Her. It's her. She would not even entertain the idea.
Female Saad, next. Mustafa Barghouti.
Maybe.
We got
There's potential there.
twice. Mustafa Barghouti going 3 times. Prince, give me a thumbs up.
I mean, there's potential there.
Prince.
No.
Okay, we have Barghouti, number 3. Marwan Barghouti, but he's in jail.
Yeah, but he is I think he would be number 1 though.
Okay, khalas, we fixed it. Mustafa Barghouti.
No. The one that's in jail.
So ChatGPT has 3 names. That's it, just 3 names.
Well, it said Jindib. I don't know how it came up with Jindib.
Yeah, right, sure.
But Ron is in prison, but they say that he would unify the Palestinians.
By now, he's an old.
What do you think, Jindid?
Yeah, he's an old guy by now.
Yeah.
But he has a lot of influence. He is an original character. He is not compromised. He's not corrupt. And I have a feeling sometimes that the PA really want him to stay in jail, like Abbas and his.
Oh, they do. Yeah, Hamas wants him released, and he,
He would work with Hamas pretty okay. I know that.
I asked for 3 more names. Yalla. Nasser Al-Kidwa.
Yeah, okay.
Bassam Salihi.
Yeah.
Sorry. And Fadi Salami.
Oh, Fadi Salamin is like an immature kid who lives in DC. No, he's a no-no.
Okay, khalasan. So we have some candidates, guys. Yalla. Edward.
We have 2.
Go.
Fadi Salamin was groomed by the Israelis, by the way. He actually holds an Israeli.
Okay, صعب. برا. طلع برا.
Yeah. No, we have 2. Mustafa and Marwan. But Marwan will be number 1. At least I think Palestinians would accept him. And he is genuine. He's known to be credible, honorable. Everyone likes him, respects him. And if Israel lets him out of prison, then he would be the new face of the Palestinian people.
Okay, go to work, guys. Lobby your local politician.
Well, Hamas is working on getting him released. That's one of their main, you know, one of the main conditions is he's included, or supposed to be included in the release, and Israel keeps trying to get him out of the pool of candidates. So Hamas is trying hard.
Be the ambassador to Lebanon for Palestine, or the ambassador to Palestine for Lebanon.
Yeah, sure. I mean, but don't come and try to tell us that you don't know how to cook.
No, I expect. I'm not doing it for the money, by the way, in case you're wondering.
You want to start a YouTube channel?
I'll have you. I'll mess with you about the idea.
See, Lebanese people can't help it.
I'll mess with pirates. And the pigeon dishes you have, I don't know what this pigeon means, but it sounds
Okay,
like
I've never technically had that. The gin did. How is it?
That was what?
Hammam from Palestine.
They rarely do it. I saw that in Egypt, they eat a lot of fucking pigeons, but not here.
Now, are they the same as the New York pigeons? Are they a different breed?
No, there's many different breeds of pigeon that people
Okay.
say.
Because the New York ones are like flying rats.
Those are domesticated pigeons, and people raise them and farm them. I mean, usually in their homes or something, but it's not a widely farm.
Have you ever had them?
Yes, I have.
How is it?
Pretty good.
Is? Have you had lizard?
Lizard?
Yeah, like Saudi Arabia.
Lizard, no.
I know.
I've had crocodile or croc.
Well, that is a lizard, but how is it?
It's okay. Tastes like chicken. It's okay.
Really?
Wow. Camel. I want to eat camel.
No, actually, I've never had camel. And I refuse to eat camel, actually.
Why?
I can't, because they're smart.
No, I don't know. It's just, no, I wouldn't.
Dude, I heard it was delicious. I've never had it, but I also heard, in Saudi, I don't know how true this is. I heard in Saudi Arabia, the camels that they have, you know, like the camels of the Middle East and the camels that they have, like in Australia, I think they get them from Australia, are a different breed of camels. So the Australian ones are like feral, they're, you know, and those are the ones that they import into Saudi Arabia to eat. They don't eat their own camels. This is what I heard.
Sounds like
And I'm not just saying that
Camels
as
for
a
consumption
let me
do
be
come from
precise.
Australia. It's true.
Yeah, and they're different.
That sounds like a Saudi move, 100%.
Well, because who told me about it was a Saudi. He said they're different. They're not the same type of camel. They don't have the same intelligence. They're camels, but like cousins, you know. And but they say it's delicious. I don't think I would ever try it, but they say it's delicious.
By the way, like I've been around a lot of camels, but I've never heard them described as intelligent.
They have a good memory. They also
They do have good memory, and if you
and they'll kick your ass if you piss them off, and they'll remember.
they'll murder you, yes, they do. If you cross them and torture them, or if you...
Yep.
She